Hello. So now we'll be going to the Chinese remainder theorem. So this is another way, a simpler method probably, to solve questions which involve higher powers and they are divided by something and you have to find the remainder. So we have already seen using Euler's rule and Euler's number as to how to find the Euler's number of a particular divisor and then how to go about finding it for a numerator. Plus the Fermat's last theorem we saw, wherein we used an extension of the Euler theorem to find out if the divisor is a prime number. So now what to do in case there is a composite number? So let's say for example there is a question something on the lines of 12 raised to 176 when it's divided by 77. So if this is the question and you have to find out, then if you try to find Euler's number for this question, then you will have to do 1 minus 1 by 11, that is 10 by 11, and then 1 minus 1 by 7, that is 6 by 7, and then you will end up with 60, and then you will be left with a higher power, that is 12 raised to 56 will remain if you try to do it that way. So then it becomes very tedious for you to do. So in these kind of questions, the Chinese remainder theorem is probably the best approach to go about. So now what we will do is we will simply split this divisor. So 77, as you can see clearly, it's nothing but 7 into 11. So now you can simply write this as 12 raised to 176 divided by 7 into 11. So we have to find the remainder for this expression, right? So what we will do is that we will try to express this number as 7a plus something and 11b plus something, which means that we will try to find the remainders when it comes to divided by 7 and when it comes to divided by 11. So what we will do is we will split this equation, split this entire thing, and it becomes 12 raised to 176 divided by 7. So we will find the remainder for this, and 12 raised to 176 divided by 11. We will find the remainder for this. Now it becomes very simple because now we are dealing with 7 and 11 because earlier you were dealing with 77. So because it's 7 and 11, it becomes very easy. Both of them are prime. So what you can do is you can do Fermat's last theorem. So 7 is present here. So the Euler number of 7 is nothing but t minus 1, that is 6. So you will simply find out 176 divided by 6, what is the remainder? So 176 by 6, the remainder is nothing but 2 because it's 174 plus 2. So it becomes 12 square by 7. Now it is extremely easy. 144 divided by 7, you will get the remainder as 4. So the remainder is 4 in this case, right? Now in this case, if you are doing 12 raised to 176 mod 11, then the Euler number for 11 is nothing but 10 because it's again a prime number, so t minus 1 will be 10. So 12 raised to 176 will become 12 raised to 6 and 12 raised to 6 by 11. But then again you can see that 12 is nothing but 11 plus 1. So if you expand it binomially, you will find that every other term will have 11 except the last term which will be 1. And so 12 raised to anything mod 11 will always give a remainder of 1. So the remainder in this case is nothing but 1. So we got to this conclusion that 12 raised to 176 is in the form of 7a plus 4. So we have 7a plus 4. And 12 raised to 76 is also in the form of 11b plus 1. So this step is very important. We have to visualize this equation. So 7a, because we are dividing it by 7, there will be some quotient, that is 7a will be the total number and 4 will remain, so we will add 4 to it and this will give us 12 raised to 176. Again 11b plus 1 will again it mean that 12 raised to 176 divided by 11 will give some quotient 11b and it will give a remainder 1, right? It will give a quotient b and a remainder 1 because 11 is the divisor. So we have to simply find the lowest value of a and b that satisfies this equation. So one thing you can go about is you can use the trial and error method, or what you can do is you can simply take 1 to this side and then try and find out how to go about it. So I will take 1 to this side. So 11b will become 7a plus 3. And then what happens is that b and a are integers, so they are non-negative integers. So they can be 0 as well. If it satisfies the equation, then either of a or b can be 0 as well. And then we will try to find which values of a and b suit this equation and which will give us the minimum value of 7a plus 4 or 11b plus 1. So what happens is that if 7a plus 3 is present on the RHS and the LHS is in the form of 11b, it means that when this 3 is divided by 11, it will give 3 as the remainder. Now because 7a has to be complete, the 7a plus 3 has to be completely divisible by 11 because b is an integer. It means that 7a mod 11 will always give you a remainder of 8. So 7a by 11 will always give a remainder of 8. Because the remainder of 8 here and the remainder of 3 here will club to form a 11 and then again it will be divisible by 11b. So that's why you have to find something in the form of 7a by 11 which will give a remainder of 8. Now then again you can go about it simply doing 7 into 1 will give remainder of 7 and then 7 into 2 14 will give remainder of 3. 7 into 3 that is 21 will give remainder of 10. 7 into 4 28 will give remainder of 6. 7 into 5, 35 will give remainder of 2. 7 into 6, 42 will give remainder of 9. Then 49 will give remainder of 5. Then 56 will give remainder of 1. And 63 will give remainder of 8. So we have got to 8. So 7 into 9 will give 63. You can simply do it by visualizing as well. 7 9 is 63 plus 3 66. So that part is also very simple to do. But the remainder, but the value of a, the minimum value of a will be 8. Now if the minimum value of a is 8, then we will plug this value in this part of the equation, because 7a plus b will be equal to 11b plus 1. So if b is equal to 9, then if b a is equal to 9, then b will be equal to 6. So a equal to 9 and b equal to 6 is one of the answers to this equation. So what we will do is we will plug back either a or either b in this equation, and we will find out 7a plus 4, that is 63 plus 4, that is 67. Even if you plug b, it will get the same. We will get the same answer, answer 67. This number you get, that is the remainder when 12 raised to 176 is divided by 77, because 7a and 11b, the LCM is 77. So this number, whatever we are getting, is nothing but 77k plus 67. So whenever you divide this number by 77, the remainder will always be 67, and so 67 will be your answer. So what you have to do in case of Chinese remainder theorem, first split the divisor, divide both of them individually, get it in the form of an expression which says that 7a plus the remainder and 11b plus the remainder, then equate these two, and then find the minimum values of a and b which satisfy this equation, and then if you plug either of these two values, then you get the answer, which is also the remainder of 12 raised to 176 mod 77.